Social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
All right, grace and peace, everybody. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. We got an interesting one today. First of all, I want to make sure that my audio sounds right. I did some changes here in the studio behind scenes. So I want to make sure everything sounds good. So as you jump in, just let me know if it sounds all right. But my goodness, in the morning, do we have a topic to talk about today? So a couple weeks ago, Pierce Morgan, and let me first of all, full disclosure, Dear World Christian doesn't watch a lot of TV. I do watch YouTube and stuff like that, but not like a television watcher. So apparently, it was about 2 weeks ago, maybe three. Pierce Morgan had a panel of people on, and it was like Mark Lamont Hill. It was the guy from Fresh and Fit. There's these two blonde girls, and one of the blonde girls is the one that is on TikTok, and she just uses the N word all the time. She's like, "Well, y'all use it. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm just gonna use the N word." And is super reckless, super reckless. If reckless could be a person, it's this chick. And and I asked some people like, "Who is this?" And some people told me her name was Lily, and I was like, "Okay," but I actually did a response to how Mark Lamont Hill reacted to the whole exchange on Pierce Morgan's platform, but never really found out who the young lady was until today. I just ran across her YouTube channel. I didn't know she had a YouTube channel, and apparently it's fairly new. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about, y'all. This channel is problematic.com. And there's a couple of layers to the problems that she has and that this channel has, and that the whole black fatigue argument has, and white fragility. There's a layers to these problems. So we're going to look at a video, and I hope that we're able to peel off the layers and not make the knee-jerk decisions and the knee-jerk reactions, and good gracious, the knee-jerk statements that this young lady makes, because though there are instances where she is right, she does it in such a way that makes her wrong. It's like it's almost like it doesn't matter that what you're saying could be perceived as right from pretty much everybody. Everybody could agree with you, but you're just wrong in your delivery. And even more than that, I do think that she is the byproduct. And I'm going to say this. I think this chick, Lily Gaddis, I think her problem is what sadly what black people have brought about Lily Gaddis. I know that sounds crazy. You're like, wait, hold on, man. We ain't do this. Yeah, we did this. The highly melanated community is responsible for Lily Gaddis. And I'll explain a little bit, and I'm gonna bring it in and we'll look at it. And you let me know if I'm crazy. But I don't think that you will. I think you'll agree. Yeah, we did this. This is our fault. We brought about the conditions by which this young lady now feels like she must be as disrespectful as possible rather than attempting to be some level of amicable, some level of work with other groups. Nah, she don't care. She really doesn't. And I think it's interesting. So and I do want to also know, first of all, let me know. First of all, shout out to everybody who jumped into the best live chat on the internet. Let me know if the audio sounds good. And been working on the audio today behind scenes and want to make sure that it sounds good. So that's why I did this surprise pop-up live stream. Let me know, does it sound okay? And then also let me put a poll up there and ask the community what y'all think. All right, I'm gonna put this in. It sounds okay to me, so I guess all right. All right. All right. I'm just putting in the poll. So thank y'all so much for commenting. Thank you so much for letting me know what you think about this. All right. Here we go. All right. I dropped the poll in the chat. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate y'all. All right. So, what I am going to do is, and I do want to know, do you all like, will you all, I'd like to get your feedback as well. Do you all like this conversation we're going to have about this young lady? So, let me bring it in first of all. All right. And she's doing a review. She's talking about the newscast where a black man knocks over a plate that a waiter is bringing out to some guests. Black man walks by and hits the tray. You'll see in a second, and knocks it on the floor. And she's making her case. And I want to hear what you all think about it. So please jump into the best live chat on the internet because there's going to be some interaction. I appreciate you all. Let me know that it sounds good. Let us go. Let us go.
Business owner after his cameras capture a man deliberately slapping a tray with more than a half dozen plates full of food out of the hand of one of his servers. Watch as this man is exiting through a glass door, and just as that server walks by, he hits the edge of the tray, causing the food to crash to the floor. As that server is left with a look of confusion, that man just casually walks away.
What's up, folks? Welcome to Black America. Welcome to another video discussing Black people and Black crime and Black issues.
All right, so let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and address the elephant in the room. Lily makes a lot of category errors. And again, just listening to, watching a couple of her videos and doing a little bit of research, she makes these broad brush stereotype category errors that are just completely ridiculous. And again, if we did that on the white side, and sadly, I think a lot of people have, that's why I said I think we might have precipitated, black people might have actually brought about this Lily Gaddis or Gaddis problem, because black people have made the same wide brush, broad brush generalizations about white people for the longest. So now all she's doing is doing the reciprocal. She's coming back and saying, hey, well, let me tell you what y'all is doing. Let me tell you what y'all N-words is doing. And she's just doing the exact same thing going in the other direction. So I do think that there's a problem there, because we should have stopped this a long time ago. We should not have allowed our own people to make these broad generalizations about any people group whatsoever. Therein is the rub. I think we missed the opportunity to correct that problem, because we wouldn't have this young lady saying what she's about to say, which is bombastic.com. Is out of control. Absolutely, Peach. Yeah, it's out of control. But I think we should have said, hey, we don't make generalizations. And it would have stopped them from doing this. But I keep telling people, this idea of black fatigue is really the outcropping, the natural outcropping of what was called white fragility about 2.5, 3 years ago, when Robin DiAngelo came out with that brain dead book, White Fragility. This is the natural outcropping, because she was doing the same thing. She was doing broad swath generalizations about white people as a white person. And we just like, oh, yeah, girl, go ahead, slay queen. And we allowed her to do that as a proxy for black people. And now the pendulum is shifted. And now we got black fatigue, and white people say, oh, we're about to take that title and we're going to use it a different way. And black people on their feelings. So I think the issue is that we've allowed this to keep going on, and somebody has to stop. Some people group is going to have to say, no, we're not going to do that. We're just not. Now, she's going to make some real gross generalizations as well. I think we need to dig into those as well. Like I said, it's like there's layers, there's levels to this thing. There's levels to this. Being an obnoxious person has nothing to do with color. He's a blank for doing that, period. And see, that's what I'm saying. She broad brushes everybody, that all of us go around acting like that guy, which is crazy work, rather than saying that dude is completely out of pocket. He doesn't represent the black community. He doesn't represent other people in his people group, whatever you want to say. She broad brushes everybody. Like, that dude is a representative for every black person on the planet. Listen to what she says.
It's kind of a problem at this point. I mean, even black people at this point, you got to admit there's a problem. We got some problems, boys. We've got some, it's not good in the hood. Okay. And this, by the way, is the least egregious video you can find out there on the topic. But because we are on YouTube, we have to go with the vanilla stories. All right. So this is just a nice little example of what they are up to in that community. Total disrespect for white people, total disrespect for society. They don't really seem to understand like how society works. They don't seem to understand how you be a good member of society. And they definitely don't understand good manners. Let's take a look at this full video and just, do I even need to say it? Do I even need to say it, folks? I really don't think I do. It's enough said, as they say.
Business owner after his
All right. So you see, she's building up the argument that the highly melanated Black people are not even able to operate in society. They don't even understand how society works. This is the rhetoric of white fragility. This is the rhetoric that we allow to, because we thought that they were dunking on white people 3 years ago. That's why I say we might be the reason why this woman is running amok like this. Just my little 2 cents. Let's keep going out. Oh, I plan to. I plan to. Shout out to April. Shout out to April in the building. I absolutely plan to reach out to Lily. Absolutely. Because I would love to have a conversation with her. Have her come on or I'll go on there. Either way. But let's keep this going. Let's go.
Cameras capture a man deliberately slapping a tray with more than a half dozen plates full of food out of the hand of one of his servers. Watch as this man is exiting through a glass.
Okay, to be fair, I don't know how that guy was ever going to get out that door in the first place. Let's just tell the truth. Hey, the Rick Ross guy that dunked on him like that, he was out of pocket. But I don't even know how the guy was going to get out the door. Like, honestly, I don't even know how that was going to happen.
And just as that server walks by, he hits the edge of the tray, causing the food.
Like, there's literally no point to this. I just don't. Why? Like, why? And this is the random acts of violence and assault and stuff that goes on in this particular community that I just
full stop right there. Not in this community, though. That's the thing. This is the other part that I believe Black people need to have a kumbaya. We need to have a meeting. Come on to the cookout, get everybody at the cookout, and we need to start isolating and, dare I say, kicking out the riffraff in our community. I don't need to, and I refuse to be lumped in with this Rick Ross over here, knocking people's food off and doing random acts of violence. I don't associate with that. That's not me. And just because he has the same skin color as me, that means nothing. Not one thing. We have nothing in common. Your boy, he's not like us. I'm not like him. He can go on and do that all by himself. And you'll see in a moment, he actually was misbehaving in other ways before he did this. So there's more evidence that, no, that's not me. So, but this is the problem though. Black people have to stand up and say, no, we are not going to participate in this foolishness. No, that's not us. Nope. This kind of foolishness is not part of our community. That's it. No. Well, I'm not going to defend that. Nope. We're not supporting the least and the most degenerate of our communities anymore. We're not doing it anymore. Nah, we're not going to do that. Nope. Rick Ross over here, you're going to go on and deal with that all by yourself. And if it goes south, we're not buying no t-shirts. We're not marching. We're not protesting. We're not sending no GoFundMes. Rick, you're going to do that on your own, my guy, because you did that yourself. You did not represent me. And we need to start saying that. And it's okay to say that out loud. Like, that's not us. That's not what we represent. That's not what we're about.
Just don't get it. Like, I understand a bank robbery, I honestly even understand a carjacking. Why? There's a point to that. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not saying it's good. It's terrible in this community. Well, not the bank robbery, that actually takes brains, but the carjacking, they disproportionately are involved in that particular sort of theft. But at least I can understand that, because it's like you want a car because you're gonna sell the car, or you'll sell it off in parts or whatever. This kind of stuff, this is what. This sort of violence is what I don't understand. It's like, what?
You know why you don't understand? This is really simple. This is super simple, barely an inconvenience, Lily. This is it. You know what? Come close. Come on up here to the front of the church, Lily. Let me help you out. Come on up here real quick, real quick. It's very simple. I know this is profound. He's a sinner. I know, right? Super easy, right? And guess what, Lily? You're a sinner. And so am I. And everybody in the Best Live chat on the internet, we're sinners. And you know what we do? Right? I know. Come on, say it with me, Lily. Come on, Lily. Say it with me. We sin. That's right. We sin. And we do sinful things. And we do vile, wicked, evil things, not because of our skin color, not because of racism or anything of slavery or whatever. You know what we do it for? Because we're evil in our hearts. And apart from Christ, we do dumb stuff. We do dumb, wicked, evil, sinful things, Lily. That's it. That's it. So my guy knocking that plate over, he's a sinner. And he do sinful things. Now, a reason I'm bringing it up and the reason I'm really harping on that is because Lily at one point professed to be a Christian, called herself a Christian influencer even at that. She should know this then. This should not be revelation knowledge. This should not have been lights on moment like, oh my gosh, you're right. She should have been able to ascertain the reason why this man does those things, carjackings, robberies, knocking trays over, calling people the N-word, whatever it is because we are sinners and we do sinful things. So if she doesn't know that, then I think maybe we should have a question. Maybe we do need to bring her up to the front of the church and maybe have a little bit of a question and answer session. Just wondering. Let's go.
What's the point? You just felt like being an asshole that day and you just wanted to do that. The same as these like random assaults on like an old person. There'll be just like an old person standing there letting their dog pee and some black person will just come and knock them over the head. You know, like there's no point to this. And I can only wonder, I'm like, is there something deeper to this? Like, is it a built up resentment to white people? Is that what's going on? Or is this more of just like a genetic issue?
Okay, so here we go. You see where we're going. You see where we're going. We now have turned off of any kind of semblance of normalcy. Now we're on to the road of insanity. She's about to make the genetic fallacy argument that black people are lesser genetically, intellectually, morally than white people. And I'm just going to say this again. We allowed this, y'all. We should have put a kibosh on this multiple, dare I say, decades ago. We should have put a kibosh on these gross stereotypes that have permeated the black community as well as other people groups. We should have said, absolutely not. We are not going to do that. But we allowed it to go. And now look where we are. And now we're here on some hot wheels because we are now in a place where she's about to make the argument that black people are genetically inferior to white people.
Possibly, maybe they just can't help themselves. Maybe that's just low impulse control. It's just what they do. Who knows? What would I know? I'm just observing from afar, by the way.
To crash to the floor as that server is left with a look of confusion. That man just casually walks away.
Knocked over the tray full of food, which, was unfortunate. It was Mother's Day. We had to make that food again. We had to clean the floors.
Luis Garcia, owner of Garcia Seafood Grill and Fish
By the
Market.
way, yeah, I know we're still in the age of cancel culture. People talk about that cancel culture is dead. It is maybe in the process of dying, but it's certainly not dead. But I would like to live in a culture where there is no cancel culture and that guy would be slinging racial slurs and talking about the problem with certain demographics in certain communities. That's what I would prefer him saying. Not just like, I don't know why he's acting like this. What? Let's not leave out the elephant in the room, okay? I'm not saying he's doing wrong. I feel bad for the guy. This is what business owners have to deal with now, and they can't say anything because their life will be ruined.
Miami River told me, while the video is shocking to watch, it's his general manager, he said, was first confronted by the man who walked right past a line of families with Mother's Day reservations.
He literally walks up to one of our staff and kind of puts his chest in his, which was uncalled for.
Video from the restaurant patio.
So it doesn't end there, folks. The bad behavior predated the initial attack. So he's sitting here busting in line again with this community. What is it about you and lines? Why do you not understand how lines work? Have you ever been on a flight before? Because it is always the African Americans, people of color, that are busting in line. I'm sorry, it's true. If you don't want me to observe that and make a generalization about you and your people, then I suggest you start abiding by the lines. It's a really not a hard concept to get. It's really not. It's really easy. It's very simple. Actually, it takes more effort sometimes to bust in line than rather to just stand there and wait patiently for your turn. But no, he busts past all the rest of these families because I guess we owe him, maybe?
Video shows what Garcia said.
Okay, let me stop for a second. And the ignorance of what she is saying really can't be overlooked. I really think we need to take a time and just kind of unpack the abject ignorance of what she just said there about lines, and people don't like standing in lines, and you do better if you stood in line, you move faster, you never flown a plane. Again, this is the foolishness that I'm sorry. Everybody has a level of bias. So that's not, we're not going to pretend like people don't have bias. That's not the point. The point is, however, we've allowed this level of just complete and utter ignorance to fester in communities. And now look where we are, that she feels like this is a cogent argument that she thinks she's making. I'm finding it actually quite fascinating that she's this ignorant. But what can deal with this ignorance? What is the shining light to sterilize this complete this gangrene in her mind? Truth that this man doesn't represent even a minuscule proportion of Black community. The problem is we allow this to represent us, though. This is the problem. We need to speak out about this guy just as much as she thinks she's speaking out against them or shining the light. We need to deal with him and bring this dude up to the front of the church and deal with him as well, because he's just as problematic as she is. She's just as bad. Wait, I said it the wrong way. Just as problematic as she is, he's just as bad. Let's go.
Is that man demanding to be seated. And as his general manager begins calling the police, he's followed as he tries to avoid a confrontation after repeatedly asking the man to leave.
When he was approached, he got aggressive.
While days have passed.
Wow, what a shocker. Low impulse control. When we approached him and told him to not do something, he immediately got angry. Kind of reminds me of the Carmelo Anthony incident too, and many others.
Since the disturbance for Garcia's diners, it's his worry this person may have been mentally struggling with something more.
No.
They're mentally struggling with the fact that they're Black, okay? And I'm starting to think, like, can these people even help themselves?
That's what I'm talking about. See, I told you. We've allowed them, and I think everybody needs to take a level of ownership and accountability in this situation and this argument that we have allowed people to now see us as lesser. If you're a highly melanated person, we've allowed them to see us as not being able to control ourselves, not being able to have good impulse control, being loud and ratchet, fill in the blank, because we've refused to actually address that in our own communities, amongst ourselves. So now it's gotten out there into the streets, and people are saying, oh, that's everybody. It's not me. I'm going to tell you right now. I've been saying that. They ain't got nothing to do with me. But I need to be a part of the dialogue and discussion that's not us. And I think the vast majority of us really do see the problem with it. We just haven't spoke out about it. And therein is the problem. Because now she thinks she's doing the right thing by saying whatever she's saying. And it's not helpful. It's completely insane. It's dang near a high level mental illness that she's reflecting. But we haven't dealt with our own community. Therein is the rub. Let's go.
You don't know what this gentleman was going through.
That said, it's the irrational.
He's not going through anything. Okay. And see, here we go, white people. Well, maybe he did assault one of my staff and he was rude to the guest and made them feel uncomfortable in the establishment and brought a negative light to the entire restaurant. But, maybe he was going through something. It's like, can white people give up with the cuckoldry, please? We've been cucked long enough. We're standing by and making every excuse under the book. No, the guy's just a dick. The guy's just a jerk. The guy's just Black, okay? And he's acting very normally for a Black person, actually. In fact,
Okay. Is that so? My question would be, is that normal behavior for Black people? Is that normal? I think we could all agree. You're probably saying no. Type your answer in the chat. Is that normal behavior? No. Then if it is not normal behavior, do you call it out, especially if you're a Black man or woman? Do you call it out when you see it amongst your own people. When you at the cookout and you see, so you at Walmart, you at the mall, you at the gas station, you at the hair store, you're somewhere out in public, and you see somebody behaving like this guy, do you call it out? Then you can't say, if you don't call it out and you know that it's not appropriate, if you don't say, hey, yo, that's not appropriate, my guy, that's not appropriate, young lady. If you don't say it, then you can't say anything about Lily because she's saying it. Because she's saying the same thing that you just said that you agree with, that this is not appropriate. So now she's saying it and she's just lumping everybody into it because you haven't said anything about it. We got to fix this. This is a community issue. It really doesn't have anything to do with white people. This is a community issue that we need to deal with and say, that's not appropriate. Now, I do agree that it's a sin issue that we need to deal with and the sinfulness of man and woman's hearts, because both of these people, everybody on the screen is a sinner. But the lesser issue is the fact that we need to say that. We need to say, this is inappropriate. This is not appropriate. And you're not going to lump me in with this. And I'm not saying that don't lump me in because I don't want Lily to accuse me of that. I don't care what she got to say. What I don't want, however, is somebody representing me, this dude right here, this Rick Ross looking guy, knocking the tray over. That guy doesn't represent me. That guy doesn't represent a lot of y'all that I see your names flowing up in the chat. And if you're less melanated, Lily doesn't represent y'all either. So therefore, we need to deal with us individually. And if at best, we need to deal with these problems. Let's keep it going. Let's go. Did I do that wrong?
You got one of the better versions of black person. You're lucky he didn't get a knife bolt on you. So I guess in that case, we should be grateful. He should be grateful he's alive.
And unpredictable actions that are concerning for the public. For that reason, police want to find him.
This type of behavior warrants that we find this person.
Okay. Well, I certainly hope they find him. Not that anything will be done about it, because... Let
me real quick, and I'm going to let Lily just finish. I'm going to let her get the last word. I want her to, and some people say that she needs to be deplatformed. I don't think so. Let her go ahead and have her platform. And the reason I believe in that, I believe that she has the right to have a platform, just like there's some racist black people that are allowed to have a platform. I think about Joy Reid and pretty much everybody on The View and Mark Lamont Hill, fill in the blank, Ibram X. Kendi. They're allowed to have a platform, and they're just as racist toward white people as she is toward black people. She should be able to still platform. Now, if you choose not to engage with her, then I think that's the right thing to do. I might talk about her a little while because she's got some really ignorant comments. She's got some really hot takes, as the kids like to say. She got some hot takes. But above that, now we know. Go ahead and let her say what she's gonna say. Now we know Lily is somebody I don't rock with. That's just it. I don't mess with Lily because I don't agree with her. Okay. But on the same note, I don't want her not to be able to say it because then I won't know that she doesn't, her thoughts. I don't know what she really feels. I want Lily to let me know how crazy and ignorant she is. So therefore I can choose not to deal with her. That's fine. And you can choose not to deal with her just the same. And there we go. I'm gonna let her tease it out. Let's go.
As you know, we live in a two-tier legal justice system where Black people, African Americans, people of color typically seem to get away with things that white people would be held to a higher account, you know? So it's like, it's just a little unfair, you know? So I think it's time for white people to just start realizing this and just be aware. Like, we know this is how these people act. We can psychoanalyze them. We can come up with creative excuses. But at the end of the day, it's simply how they act. And by the way, I actually feel bad for the good ones because there are genuinely good Black people. I live in a very rural area, and the Black people who do live around here, I have no animosity towards them. They are hard workers. They mind their own business. They're country Blacks. Okay. And I do sometimes feel bad for them because the rest of these people, the disproportionate majority of them, give those tiny minority a bad name. But at the same time, don't be hating on white people if they jump to stereotypes and they start to generalize you, because I'm sorry, but you, the good ones, are the minority. That's just a fact.
That's not true at all. That is not true. That is not true. They are the ghetto, ratchet, loud, negative influence is a loud minority. They're just loud. I mean, it's just like a firecracker. It's loud, but it's a very small little thing. It's a small deal. But no, they're just loud. That's all it is. It's not that there's not a vast majority of people that don't agree with it. It's just that they're the loud minority, and also those are the ones that people look at. Because I guarantee you, the only reason we're looking at that CCT camera is because of that one man. But if you look back at if you go back and look at the right here, there are a whole bunch of other people there, and you're not looking at them. Why are we looking at Rick Ross right here? We're looking at him. We're looking at Tons of Fun right here because he's the one that's misbehaving. He's only one, but there's a whole bunch. There's other black people in this room, and they're not misbehaving. So I'm not going to say, nah, we're not going to throw everybody in there. I'm glad you live by Lily. I'm glad you live by rural blacks that are doing the right thing. Guess what? We're doing the right thing out here in the suburbs. They're doing the right things in Atlanta. They're doing the right things wherever. So no, you're not going to lump everybody together with that. So you can go kick rocks, but let's let her finish up.
Facing this, and just be aware. Like, we know this is how these people act. We can psychoanalyze them. We can come up with creative excuses. But at the end of the day, it's simply how they act. And by the way, I actually feel bad for the good ones, because there are genuinely good black people. I live in a very rural area, and the black people who do live around here, I have no animosity towards them. They are hard workers. They mind their own business. They're country blacks. Okay. And I do sometimes feel bad for them, because the rest of these people, the disproportionate majority of them, give those tiny minority a bad name. But at the same time, don't be hating on white people if they jump to stereotypes and they start to generalize you, because I'm sorry, but you, the good ones, are the minority. That's just a fact. There's very few actually good ones.
That's
very
not true.
few.
Not even
the
true.
disproportionate number of bad ones, I'm sorry, outweighs the good ones. That's how people's mind works. It's called having a high IQ. You're able to identify patterns and being.
And so we can say the exact same thing. Could say, oh, well, there's a disproportionate number of white people that think like Lily. Everybody thinks like Lily. See, somebody can say that exact same thing. And I can say that I have a high IQ. I have a relatively warm IQ. I'm not burning the world down, but I'm not a dummy either. So I can sit there and say, I can see patterns. There's blonde chicks, and they have spaghetti straps, and they agree with Lily. I can say that just as quick as today is Wednesday, and use the same logic, Lily.
Being able to identify patterns of behavior could save your life. So if somebody wants to tell you, don't say that, don't do that, don't walk to the other side of the street because you could be deemed racist, just let them know that you go ahead and not be racist. But I'm going to be racist, and I'm going to jump to stereotypes and generalizations because I would rather live, sir. I'll be racist and alive, and you go ahead and be not racist and see how well that works out for you.
All right. So that's Lily. Y'all, I just ran across this thing and I said, man, this chick is high level insane. She's a mess, man. She is a mess. But there's some things that also must be addressed within that there's some issues. Because again, I do think that the highly melanated community, Black people, need to deal with the problems within Black society. That's hands down, no question about it. It has nothing to do with Lily, it has nothing to do with Tommy or Patty or Sally or Johnny. It has everything to do with us. And we got to deal with that. And because we have not for so long, that's why we have a Lily. Because if we had addressed those things before, we wouldn't have a Lily situation. Because nobody would be saying that all Black people do this. But because we've allowed that I believe the loud minority to continue to misbehave, now we have this problem. And that's what I think how we got here. So that's why I say I think we're responsible for Lily. Oh, no question. This is actually where that crazy mindset that Corey Mahler probably a couple years back was probably thinking like Lily. Now he's at a whole nother level. If you watch the debate between James White and Corey Mahler about can Black people be sanctified, That is where this argument comes from. That's how they got to this argument that black people can't, that white people can, but black people can't, and brown people can't. Like, that's the insanity. How did you get here? Because you was messing around with Lily, because you allow Lily arguments to continue to fester. Now, this might be something that the white community, y'all might need to pull the lilies up to the front of the church and deal with that in your own communities as well. Black folk, we're gonna go over and deal with ours. Y'all go over and deal with y'all's, and we'll catch y'all for a game of kickball afterwards. Something like that. We'll go cornhole. What is it called? Pickleball. We'll do some pickleball. Okay. I don't know how to play pickleball, but you got my point. There's some issues within all of our communities. And the bottom line, when the smoke clears, this is a level of partiality. This is sin. What Lily is espousing is sinful behavior. When the smoke clears, when all of the nuances are removed, we're just talking about sin. She's looking at somebody based upon their externals and making judgments about them based upon their externals. It's just sin. That's all it is. Now, there's some other behaviors that need to be addressed too from the highly melanated community. But really, when the smoke clears, that's what the problem is. So I saw this and I said I might go ahead and address this. And I thank y'all for jumping into the best live chat on the internet. Let me see what the poll say. What y'all say on the poll? I said, can race relations in the U.S. be repaired? 25% of y'all said yes. 12% said no. Gonna take Jesus, my guy. 50% of y'all. It said lots of work is needed. So I'm gonna go with yes and gonna take Jesus. I'm gonna add them together. I'm making that 75%. I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's repairable. But the problem is, I think, as I said before, having an honest discussion, intra-ethnic group, intra-cultural groups, communities, societies, whatever term you want to use, we need to have that conversation amongst ourselves. Okay. Wait, when black folk chose to end the Hunger Games, we chose not. I don't know. I help me out with that one, Apex. What aspect? Now, don't be in one of those new books because I don't know those ones. My daughters do, but I don't know the new books. Yeah, and Dave is right on the money. This is where they're going to. This is where that rhetoric, that Corey Mahler rhetoric, this is where that Lily Gaddis rhetoric is going to, the dehumanization of other people and making them others. I think they call it the othering of people. Oh no, you are 1,000% correct. Sure, it does boil down to personal accountability. But if you yourself have not dealt with your own sin burden, you're not going to be able to hold yourself accountable because it's kind of like you're having a warped ruler. You're not going to be able to make a straight line. So you do need, and we must be converted, regenerated by the power of the Holy Spirit and the preaching of the gospel. That's what's going to make this, that's where the personal accountability comes into play. Because otherwise I'm broken and I'm holding myself accountable. And it doesn't even work. Because I guarantee you, Lily will tell you emphatically that I guarantee you, Lily will probably tell you that she is a Christian and she holds the Christian morals and ethics. And like I said, I would definitely like to have a conversation with her about that. Because, I mean, that's problematic from the word go. But yeah, she professed to be a Christian, allegedly. I don't even know what that is. I don't know what she's talking about. I'm trying to see if I can find her email because I would love to have a conversation with her. I see she's on, she doesn't have her email, but she's on X. So maybe I'll just go over there and check her out and see what we got. All right. Yeah, she's got a really interesting platform. We will definitely see what's happening. But I definitely I would have a conversation with her for sure. There are some obvious points. 1138. Yeah. Yeah. No problem there. There's some obvious truths. I've said that. The problem is the generalization of everybody. Therein is the problem. Oh, please. Mandy, make it so, please. Please. Unity comes through Christ. Yes, through Jesus. The biblical Jesus, not the Jesus of immigration. Oh, imagination. I apologize. I agree. Roland, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that comment, sir. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I just thought that was she had a interesting perspective, and I wanted to look at it and just say, hey, we can address these topics. We don't have to fear like, we got to cancel her, or oh, she doesn't need to be on the platform. No, be on the platform. That way we can see where all the ignorance is consolidated, and we can just say, oh, that page right there, that's all the ignorance is consolidated right there. I don't want that ignorance spread over here. Nope. Keep that ignorance right over there, and we know exactly where it is. And therefore, because we know where it is, we know where to leave it right over there. So this I thought it was be fun. Also want to make sure that my audio sounded good. Thank y'all so much for giving me some feedback on the audio. What does KJ say? This reminds me of the documentary I watched where white supremacy had their wives, girlfriends do their bidding. It's a very interesting point for sure. Debating with a Lily or Mahler will bring out their online fanatics who will start spamming a lot of nasty stuff on the chat and comments just to caution. No, I appreciate it, Mr. Khan. And if that be the case, then it would be a conversation offline and then a recorded video with comments off. We could do it like that. But even more, I got some great moderators. They do a great job of keeping that stuff in line. But also, please understand, the point is to show just how ridiculous their argumentation is. And if they do, in fact, as you said here, go into resorting to spamming and saying all kinds of nasty stuff, it only proves the point that I'm making. So if you're going to say, for example, if Mahler or Lily were over here and they want to say, and their ilk are saying all these terrible things, how are you morally superior to me? Because that's their argument, that they're morally superior, that they're intellectually superior, that they're genetically superior. How are you when you can't even have an argument or have a debate or have a discussion without being bombastic? How are you better? I would love to hear how that works. I'm already put the request out there. And when she's available, or if she wants to come and have a conversation, she's got almost as many subscribers as I do. So maybe we do like a race to 50,000 or something. Y'all give me the 50K. Don't let me fall behind Lily now. Don't let me fall behind Lily. I didn't see her page yet. Yeah, she's an interesting person. Like, for example, she's known. Here's an example of something that the highly melanated community needs to have a conversation about. She's known for using the N-word. All right. She uses the N-word. And even on her page, I now see she has the N-word on her page. And of course, everybody would start clutching their pearls that she uses the N-word. Now, but if I use it, people would actually defend me using it and say that's okay, that Jason can use it. Why is that? Why? Why is it that the highly melanated people can use a word that they're offended and bothered and clutching pearls if somebody else uses it? And I've been saying this for years. We need to stop using the N-word, the hard R and the soft, what is it? The A N-word. It's just dumb. We need to stop doing it. Or we need to stop acting like we're going to melt when somebody does it. Those are only two options. It can't be black people can use it, but if an Asian person uses it, we act ridiculous. It's okay for black people to say it, but if a white person is singing a rap song with it used in there, we go crazy and they lose scholarships and all that kind of stuff like that. Just stop it. There's got to be a one or the other. Either everybody can use it and black people just say, okay, fine, it is what it is. Or nobody can use it and nobody uses it. But black folk can't use it and then also get upset and clutch their pearls that white people or Asian people or Hispanic people or whatever people use it. It just doesn't make sense. So that's something that we got to either we gonna stop saying it. Oh, personally, I think we need to just stop acting like children and pretend like, oh my gosh, they said the N word, I'm dying. Like Mark Lamont Hill said he was a victim because the girl said the N word. But boy, go sit down somewhere with your whole grown crazy self. Stop it. Stop. Just stop. So that's it. It's a gross double standard, and therein is the problem. Therein is the problem. If we're going to act like that, then we have to be consistent. We got to clutch our pearls when Young Thug uses it. We got to clutch our pearls when our favorite whomever uses it that's black uses it. Or we just say that's a word and we're just going to let it roll. It's a word, whatever. They don't change my bank account. They don't lower my self-esteem. It doesn't make my grass grow better. Anything. Don't get these dishes out my dishwasher. So whatever if you feel like that word does something to you, more power to you. Knock yourself unconscious. I don't care. Or nobody uses it. That's it. And all of this derivatives too. All of the derivatives of the N-word. Just stop it. So that's my point there. Like, just stop doing it. Or let everybody do it and stop acting like it's going to kill you. Who am I talking about? I was talking about using the N-word and why we should not use the N-word. I'm trying to find a I almost can't argue with you. I can't argue with you, Mr. Khan. Yeah, I can't argue with you. Yeah. I will say this. I think you will be really hard pressed if you could sit down and write the value of rap music. And I do like rap music. And I enjoy certain genre of rap music. Every now and then I bug my daughter out because I wanted to hear a song. She's like, Dad, what in the world are we listening to? And I was like, I hadn't heard this in a while. I just want to hear it. When I used to coach at the gym, I had an 80s rap playlist that everybody knew. When Jason's coaching, that's when you're going to hear this song. So don't even worry about listening to it any other time because you're going to hear it when Jason's on coaching. But I think you would really be hard pressed to say, okay, what is the value add that rap music has given to society? I would love for somebody to tell me, what is the value add of rap music? Yeah, that would be a very interesting thought experiment. It's a Jason TED Talk. I love it. Parents monitoring their children respectfully to others is key to healthy, happy. Oh, I agree 1000%. Oh, okay. I was saying, okay, what do I do about okay, so we just stopped. Like right now today, May 28th, 2025, rap music is done. The genre of rap is finished. But everything that's already done out there, we can keep. Is that basically what we're saying? As long as I can keep 80s and early 90s rap, I'm good. If we can keep 80s and early 90s, we're good to go. And I might give you just a few artists that I even need. The other ones they might need to fall into the same basket. But you can rhyme words with poetry. We've been rhyming words with other songs. Like, what is the value of rap music? I'm just wondering. Like, what is the value of because we've had poetry, we've had song, we've had all of those things before, but rap music is different. In my opinion, it seems better form of quote unquote rap. It does play in the form of slam poetry, some of the 90s and 80s and 90s style. In my opinion, some old raps do not use swear. Oh no, again, uh, one of my favorite artists groups, Run DMC. They do have they every now and then I think they had a curse word. LL Cool J, early LL Cool J. I mean, there's a lot of good, but if it was take it or leave it type of scenario, I would probably I'd be willing to hear the argument for what is the value statement of rap music. What has it added to society? Because with rap music would come rap or hip hop culture. And then there, even that, I don't think you can make an argument at all for the culture. Man, there's a lot of problems with the culture, but I want to hear. I would love to hear that. The most modern rap is an abomination. Absolutely, Apex. I think that's why we said like cut it off like right now and to see what it would do. But I think that's interesting. David, why is David here? He said Fonnie tried fixing the rap issue. I can't even write that as a joke. Oh my gosh. David is Fonnie Willis's major op. If Fonnie Willis had an op, her op is named David Trailer. She looking for you, David. You don't get brought up on some RICO charges, man. Oh, no question. Old school is definitely different. Definitely different. Hands down. Most rap music is great, Denise says, but it's totally overboard with all the cursing, denigration of both males and females. I agree 1000%. I agree with you. Yeah, it's just it's a very interesting. Maybe we'll do a show. We'll just sit around and kind of pontificate on that and talk like, what is the value of rap music? Maybe I get Chad to come on. Get Chad Jackson to come on and talk about that. And maybe have some other people like Todd. You know, Todd is from Todd Speaks. He's actually a rapper. So maybe I'll do that. That might be fun. Some online rap battles on YouTube, at least. Try to keep it clean. Okay, I agree with you. I believe the change in rap music was done on purpose. No argument at all. None whatsoever. I mean, it's a part of the fabric of society now. But like, what did it add? What was the value that it added to society? I mean, we can see the value of the automobile. We see the value of the car. We can see the value of refrigeration. What is the value of podcasting? But what is the value of rap music? Hey, I would love. Hey, we can do rap on trial. We can bring rap on trial back out. We can do it again. I did a review of this. We were actually talking about during if you're not familiar, the book Rap on Trial. We were doing a discussion. Put it up there. Prayerfully, it won't fall. We were doing a discussion during the YSL trial about why they were using rap lyrics and why they were able to use rap lyrics in court cases. And I mean, that book, Rap on Trial, is really informative about the genesis of rap music and how rap lyrics and song lyrics started becoming evidence in trials and just some of the crazy examples of how they were used against young men from all over the place. So it's not just, it wasn't just the YSL trial, was not the first time. It's probably hundreds of times a year, easy. And it was a very informative book. So if you ever want to check that book out, Rap on Trial, I did a 3-part book review of it as well. And it was super informative. So I will say that if you're ever interested in how rap music got to where it is now, that book will help you out with that a lot. I will also say that I'm almost finished with. I still got it. I still got Black Fatigue, but I am almost finished with this. I got the last 2 chapters I'm going to read tonight and be finished with this. And I'll drop my chapters 4, 5, 6, and 7 review probably tomorrow. I would love for y'all to check it out. This is the book that brought about the whole argument about Black Fatigue, by the way. And super interesting. I disagree with the premise of this book wholesale. The basically, if you want me to summarize it, it's a guidebook for taking no accountability and no responsibility for your own actions. It's a blame other people manual, if you want to call it that. That's what it is. It's basically giving you carte blanche to blame other people for your behavior. And it's not your fault, it's their fault. It's proverbial, it's the modern day, the dog ate my homework. You know, I can't turn my homework in because my dog ate it. I can't do this because my grandfather was a slave. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's the modern day dog ate my homework. But I'm almost done with this. I'll probably, like I said, probably finish that tonight, and I'll do the try to drop the final episode of my book review tomorrow. Well, I mean, I got the second one I haven't even dropped yet, so I'll probably drop this weekend. Sorry about that. The worst rap song you ever heard was "Feeding the People." You sure? I might need to play it. I might need to play it, man, just so you can remember how terrible it is. But y'all, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all rocking with me and hanging out with me this afternoon. As I said before, I wanted to make sure I sound pretty good, and then I also want to talk about this discovery I had, which is Lily's YouTube channel. Bless her heart. She has a lot of bad ideas, and we'll probably, if y'all want, let me know. Maybe I'll address some more. She's got some terrible ones. She just does like hot takes on not modern things that are happening in the news. So she talked about Brandon Johnson. She talked about Carmelo Anthony. She talked about the alphabet community. She talked about black people will lose in a race war. Just insane stuff, man. Oh, there she is on Piers Morgan. Just crazy stuff. McDonald's bans black people. That's not what the article was about. I did a whole review of that story of McDonald's closing in, like, I want to say somewhere in Ohio, where they closed down the street from a high school. And it wasn't because of black people. It's actually, the school is super mixed. It's not almost, but it's a very diverse school. So it wasn't just black kids that they were closing at McDonald's for. They're closing for all kids. But anyway, if y'all want, let me know. You know where to find me, dearwokesy@gmail.com. Let me put that in the chat for y'all as well. There you go. And that's my email. Feel free to shoot me an email if you want me to. Maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I'll do like a hot mess Monday or something. I still got mayoral Monday. I'm doing that mayoral Monday. Maybe I'll do like hot trash Monday or something, or something. We gotta come up with something. I gotta come up with a better one. I like hot trash Monday though. That's not bad. Hot mess Monday. White trash Monday. White trash Wednesday. No, I don't want to do that. I don't like calling people that. But anyway, y'all, thank you so much. I gotta fix my bookcase next. Yeah, let me know. Give me a good title. But do me a favor, if you don't mind, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you drop those green hearts in the chat. Tip your waiter. Let them know that you appreciate what you're doing over here. And don't let me fall behind Lily. Lily has, come on, y'all. Help your boy out over here. Lily has 32,000 subscribers. If you've not subscribed, don't let me fall victim to Lily, okay? Don't let me fall behind Lily. She got 32,001 subscribers. Don't let me fall behind her. Come on. I got 37K. Let me get to 50. Help your boy out. Help your brother out, man. Come on. Help your man out here. Don't let that happen. Matter of fact, that's oppressing me. Don't let her oppress me by getting to 50K before me. That would oppress your boy. And we don't want that to happen to me. Help me out. What'd you say here? Let's see what you got. Oh, you will. Okay, well, there we go. Denise, thank you so much. And please, David said, green hearts, colorblind member here. Hot Mess Monday would be with a warm IQ. I love it. There we go. There we go. Hot Mess Monday with a warm IQ. I kind of think that could sell. That might sell. That might work. I got you. And then, you know what? When I hit 50K, we can invite Lily on. There we go. Come on. We said, look. since you didn't, don't let her oppress me though, y'all. Don't let her oppress me. Come on. Come on. You know, I'm black. I'm oppressed, man. I'm oppressed. Help me out. Help me remain free by hitting 50K. Tell a friend, tell a friend. So crazy, man. That's so crazy. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Have a fantastic evening. I will be on with Rick Caldwell tonight at 7:00 on his channel talking about Jordan Peterson and the Christian has a conversation with 20 atheists. That was a very extremely interesting conversation. So I'll be over there with them tonight talking about that. So thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. If you don't mind, make sure you hit the green lights on the way, green hearts on the way out. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, all that kind of good jazz. Thank you so much. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace. See you soon.